All right, so here we are. We're back. I did miss a couple spots. There's a little nose right there. There's a little bit of indentation there in his in between his legs there. But I think we're fine to go ahead and start carving on him. Now, when you use a swivel knife, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and come clean. This is my second time ever using a swivel knife. I've already honed it, but they tell you want to always hone your swivel knife every time you use it. Even though this is a flat blade swivel knife, they make different styles of swivel knife. There's one that has a, like if you could imagine, like an angled blade. It's called a filigree blade. But they tell me that you don't want to use like the full width of the blade to make your first initial cut. Like you can use the full width of the blade like to slice later on, like if you're like trying to, I suppose, how would I word that? Like once you've made the initial cut into the leather, you're trying to like smooth your cut out, you can use the full width of the blade. But really, you're not trying to cut all the way through the leather. Like you're not going all the way through like you're trying to cut the leather out. You're just making the line in the leather to define that line. Like you're basically using this knife like a paintbrush, if you could imagine. So let's get down to it. Let's see if I can not mess this up in front of a crowd, this being literally the second time I'm doing this. I think I did an okay job on the outline, honestly. So let's start. Let's see what I can do. And also, one of the things that they tell me in the tutorials that I've been watching, you can learn a lot just on YouTube. Like, that's pretty much all I've done is watch YouTube tutorials to get this far. Mostly what I was really honestly planning on doing was taking the patterns and just dyeing this leather different colors and like decorating it that way, and that was going to be plenty. Like, I wasn't really planning on putting any art on any of this. So any art that I manage to do on anything, is bonus. So, and if I completely mess this up, I've got more leather. So if, faint heart never won fair lady. So here we go. They say to push the blade rather than pulling it in some places. And I wonder if there's too much moisture still in my leather. I wonder. Because it does feel kind of mushy as I'm doing this. That's one of the things that my buddy Tom was saying about it. And, like, I don't have anybody actually teaching me how to do this. I'm just watching YouTube tutorials. And I know if I post this on the Hawkwood Arts and Sciences page on Facebook, someone's going to come right along and tell me, yeah, buddy, you got too much moisture in your leather, or no, that's just about right. Ooh, actually, moving into this region right here, that's a little bit lighter in color, my blade is moving and cutting, can you see a difference between this area right here and this area right here? It felt different. So I think you can tell a difference in the color. I think this area is where it's ready to cut. and this area is where it's too moist. Or I got it wrong, and this area is where it's ready, and this area is just wrong, and I need to stop doing this right now and ask someone who actually knows. But hey, I don't know. My first video is probably too long. This is leather carving. It's really not that hard to do. So if you've ever thought about wanting to make your own stuff out of leather, I highly encourage you to look into doing it. If you're one of those people that like is concerned about making art because you've, been told all your life that, oh, you can't draw a straight line with a ruler. I've just read something recently that said like, it was a really good quote from some Eastern philosophy that like, oh God, I can't remember the quote now. Something along the lines of like a ruler is dead because it can only draw straight lines. So like if your concern is about making art because you can't draw a straight line, then like think about all the other kinds of lines you can make and just try. Like, I'm gonna finish this up. You guys have a great day.